All right, let's do this thing. Ready for this game?
Zack,
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Getting the game posted.
Gotta get my stuff ready here. Yeah,
Welcome.
welcome.
Welcome to what are we calling these?
We just call them pregame scenes. We don't have a name.
I try to call them like pregame walk and talks.
Walk and talks.
I can like a good walk and talk on the news.
Yeah. Excited for this game. Fully healthy team. Kentucky's got a good shot today, and
Who's watching that Louisville game?
Tell us some recruiting news.
some recruiting news. I didn't watch any of the Louisville game, but I was following it. I didn't think it was going to be that big of a blowout. I don't know. I haven't seen an updated score, but it looked like
They lost by like 20. They suck again.
Yeah. Recruiting update. Well, Sami's Calderon was supposed to be here. He canceled that visit. Looks like right now Kansas has all the momentum there. Kentucky's out of it there. And
Is that big for us?
it's probably positive for Caleb Wilson's sake.
Okay. Was it down to like them too?
No. Like Chris Sinak is still kind of in the mix, but I think that all eyes are on Caleb right now.
All right, I'm here.
Somebody's mic is not on.
Is this mine? Probably me. So you guys have no idea what I'm saying this whole time.
Am I on? Can you hear me, Steven?
Yeah, you are.
Good. Oh, yeah, yours is not on. Hold that button. Here.
That work?
It's not working there, Steven.
There you go.
Well, we can do the old hand it off to Jacob here.
Hold it. Just keep holding it down.
Oh, okay.
We'll figure it out.
Well, if you didn't hear anything I just said, it's too bad for you.
Well, give us a good scoop. Give us a 2-sentence recap of it.
So Kentucky's out of it for Sami's Calderon. Kansas has the momentum there, and
No relation to Jose, right?
no relation to Jose as far as I know.
Okay.
And then Kentucky continues to be in a good position for Caleb Wilson, from what I hear. So
That's good news.
now all eyes are on if he'll make his decision before the early signing period.
Do you think that'll happen? Do you have an RPM pick on whether or not he signs in the early signing period or not? Because I feel like that.
How far is that away? Is that
early signing period? We're like
2
less
weeks?
than a month away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe 3
So,
weeks.
God, I think it's close to 50-50, which is
Okay.
a boring answer. I'm sorry, but
The Mark Pope answer.
yeah, I'll probably lean towards saying 51% that he does, 49% that he doesn't, just to give you a little bit of an advantage one way or another.
All right. Well, we are now officially on our walk down High Street to Kentucky versus Bucknell. Jack Pilgrim has texted me. I think there's a chance he might join us, and it would be funny if he does, because that means you would see him sprinting in the background, which would be pretty funny. So if that happens, it'll just be funny to see. Let's hope he does. If not, it'll just be Jacob and I with Steven's commentary and hopefully not tripping over anything on his walk. Jacob and I will be his eyes in the back of his head. There you go, Steven. Good job there. This is the tricky part coming up in here. Okay, Kentucky versus Bucknell.
Yeah.
Jacob, I know that you are a resident Bucknell expert here. So what can you tell us about... Don't even give me a player fact about Bucknell. Do you have any facts about Bucknell as a university? Do you know where it is?
Yes, I will give you this. Bucknell is in the Patriot League.
That's true.
And American University. That's the alma mater of both my parents. So,
really? That's a Patriot League school?
Yes,
makes sense.
both
America would be the
Patriot League schools. So that's my pick right now. American University to win the Patriot League.
Where is that?
It's in D.C., Washington, D.C.
Okay,
to
cool.
be specific.
Okay. Makes sense. Ooh, look at that! Get that shirt over there, Steven. No, over here to the left, the UK shirt. Steven.
Right here.
Yeah. There you go. Pretty cool, right? I like that one. So Bucknell, they are led by John Martin III. He is in his second year now. He was I think he was like the top assistant coach for the 4 years that Nate Sestina was at Bucknell from 2015 to 2019, who Jack Pilgrim and I got to chat with for like 55 minutes yesterday for the latest episode of Sources Say, which was awesome. If you haven't watched that one yet, go back and watch it. We pretty much just talk about the spit from Onawaku, which was the best part about the whole thing. We talk about his time as Bucknell, John Calipari, Mark Pope, all that. But he was able to give us a little bit of insight on John Martin. He said that he's kind of like a hard-nosed coach. Like, that was the first time that Nate said he ever got chewed out during in basketball was from that coach. And he said it helped create him into the player that he is today. So that's we've got a hard-nosed coach. I know they've got a very veteran team at Bucknell, a lot of fourth and even I don't know if they have any fifth-year guys, but they have a lot of third and fourth-year guys at Bucknell. So even in the portal and the NIL era, we still have all these guys sticking around, and that's created a lot of continuity with them. We'll see if that translates to actual wins. I think they were picked fourth to finish in the Patriot League.
Okay.
Home of American University as well.
Yep.
Let's see. I know they have a first team, preseason first team. Well, they only had one team, but a preseason all Patriot League player, Noah Williamson. And that is the guy that we will be focusing on pretty much the entire game, I feel like, because he's a 7-footer. He's very, very skilled. He was a third-team all-conference player last year as well. Likes to stretch the floor a little bit. He's been really good at getting to the rim. He already has 28 free throw attempts through 2 games, Jacob. He's made 20 of them, so he's rather efficient in that regard. But he'll be a great test for Amari Williams and Brandon Garrison, who we really haven't seen challenged yet. Is there anything in particular that you are looking for out of this Kentucky team going into Game 2 now that you've seen 2 exhibitions and a preseason game under your belt?
I do want to see how this Kentucky team can adapt if their shots aren't falling. That's kind of been a thought I've had about this team for a little bit, is that they could be in a lot of trouble if they're not hitting threes. I know they're going to be shooting a ton of threes, so if you shoot enough, they ought to go in at some point. But I want to see how, like you talked about, how they do in the paint if their shots aren't falling. And, can they score with Amari Williams and Brandon Garrison if maybe Jackson Robinson or Kobe Brea or one of those guys isn't having the best game?
Absolutely. So that'll be something to keep an eye on. I'm sure there will be games throughout this season where Kentucky's not hitting. Do we foresee any games where is that Maggie Davis? Maggie Davis making a surprise appearance on the KSR Rapid Reaction. That was kind of funny. Well, no, I guess this is the pre-rapid.
Yeah,
the rapid pre-action. Maybe?
Pre-action?
This
Is pre-action a word?
It's so rapid that we're doing it before the game's
We're doing
over,
it before
or
the game
even
is
started.
over. That is true.
What's something you'll say in the rapid reaction to after today? What's like a take you'll have? What's a take you think you'll have?
Go ahead.
Trent Noah, 4 threes. That's my take.
You think he's just coming in? Are we having a rotation piece for Trent, or is this a late game situation?
Late game, and he hits one. You can't take him out. Hits another, and then you're just feeding him the ball at that point. So
expert analysis there, Jacob.
Yeah.
Expert analysis. Yeah, I am interested to see what an actual cold shooting night looks for. Hey, how's it going? Go Cats! We've got some fans noticing us on the walk down here. Oh, there's our guy with the nice shirt over there. This is not a safe area to be walking where we are right now. I'm losing all my train of thought here, Jacob. The cold shooting.
Yes.
Do we foresee a game where Kentucky goes as cold as something like 4 for 20? Do you see something like that happening this season? Is that
I don't know if they're going to go like with this team. If they're shooting 23-pointers in a game, then they stop shooting for some reason. And I don't think Mark Pope would be too happy about that. So I could see a game where they maybe start off a half just shooting terribly and then turn it around in the second half. But the real question will be, will there be a game where the second half the shots aren't falling and a team that's kept it more competitive than some of these recent teams have keep it close and are able to take advantage of that?
Yeah, I guess that's kind of the key to that question is, when do these cold streaks come? Do they start off, like you said, having a decent game and then maybe go cold at the wrong time? I don't ever foresee a game where Kentucky's going 4 for 18 or 19. It's only because of similar to what you said, is if you're only shooting 19 or 23s, that means something's gone wrong.
Yeah.
They should probably have close to that 25 mark almost every game, and that means you're probably going to get 6 or 7 at minimum. I think that's really all Kentucky needs in most cases to stay competitive, especially against decent teams. You could win a game against like Bucknell with just 6 or 7 threes, I think. But I think we're going to get a really high-paced game tonight. I know Mark Pope previewed Bucknell on Thursday, and that's pretty much what he said, is they do a lot of similar stuff to what Kentucky does, honestly, from the way he was wording it, basically saying that they're going to play fast. They're going to try and shoot a lot of threes. They have a lot of quick actions. Maggie Davis, my biggest fan. Let's go back to Mark Pope's press conference, Jacob. Anything stick out to you from that maybe will impact how you view this game or the rest of the season going forward?
Well, I thought his comments about kind of being unselfish were very interesting because this has been a team.
He talked for about 7 minutes about it.
Yeah,
so.
He talked for a lot. He was talking about selfies and how about 20 years ago nobody.
Yeah, God's favorite. That's what I like to say.
Yeah, he was talking about how nobody was taking selfies 20 years ago. Now they are. I think that this is a very unselfish team, and kind of like we've talked about, there are a lot of guys that can step up. Mm-hmm. So I want to see this team share the ball, get a lot of guys involved, and give it to the hot hand, which I think will be Trent Noah.
He says we'll be Trent Noah. And we've seen a lot of great passing so far. I believe the last game was, 30 assists on 39 made shots. I think that's what the number was. Similar stuff across the board in the preseason as well. So far we have not seen any of that creep up in terms of not being able to keep the ball moving and everything. A big thing that I took away from Mark Poe's press conference was he used the term game slippage a lot. Or the word slippage, I should say. When talking about being intentional with your approach, he said that Kentucky had a lot of game slippage against Wright State. Kind of happened after like the first 10 or so minutes of the game where they were really clicking, and then things got not necessarily away from them, but they just weren't as intentional, was the word Mark Pope used, as he'd like them to be in terms of just with every movement, pass, dribble, hiccup, everything is intentional and everything has a purpose. And he said they got away from that a little bit, and that's something that he wants to see. There were some other benchmark numbers he talked about, like 30% offensive rebounding. What was it? The transition number. Do you remember that one? I think he said like 10%.
20%, I think?
20% sounds
20%
right.
transition points.
Yeah, they went up. Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
there is a missing parrot. Okay.
Just want to make sure our viewers see
we got some.
If anyone sees a parrot anywhere. Yeah, let's cross over here.
Yeah, be careful here, Steven. Let's we'll walk on over here. Sir, do you have any thoughts on the game today and who you're expecting to come out with this victory?
Well, I think Kentucky's going to win by about 38, is my guess.
38, all right.
What's
that'll
the
cover.
spread, 26, 27?
It's been getting
It
bumped
got
up.
down to...
Well, it started up at like 23. I think we're at 29 now is the spread. So
I'm interested to see our big man go against their big man. Mm-hmm. So he's 250, 7 foot. It's going to be a good test for us.
Absolutely. We really haven't seen Amari Williams or Brandon Garrison be tested yet.
No.
But we will see it with a guy like Noah Williamson, who could stretch the floor a little bit. Do you have any fun Bucknell facts? Are you do you know anything about? No.
Well, they're from Pennsylvania, right?
That's about as much as that's more than Jacob knew. So you're on a
Hey, I know they're in the Patriot League and American universities.
And who was
50 guesses at that.
our player transfer?
Nate Sestina.
Yes.
Nate Sestina, absolutely. So we've got a 38-point win right here, predicting right now. How many threes?
Yeah. What?
How many threes do you think?
Let's see. I'm going with 16.
16 threes? I like both of those numbers right now. We'll light it up. I like it. Anyone else here?
Trent Noah's
Sir, what are you
getting
thinking
4 of those.
about this matchup here? Who you got?
Kentucky by 40.
Kentucky by 40, so we're getting close.
102-64.
He's already got the number picked out in his head. Do you have an MVP in mind?
I think last game, Brandon Garrison had a rough one. I think he's going to bounce back. I'm going 16 points, 8 rebounds for him today.
I love that, actually, because that would mean, we have a great performance against Noah Williamson, ideally.
Yes.
Everyone running across here.
Bounce back game. Everyone's going to be ready for Duke on Tuesday. It's going to be good.
What are your expectations for that Duke game as a pure Kentucky fan?
I look at this Duke team last year, and we were like this Duke team of this year. A bunch of freshmen. So I think we have the experience, the upper hand. I got Kentucky. It's going to shock everyone and put everyone on the map. Kentucky's here.
I like it. Well, we're going to set up shop here. Sir, thank you for your input. I like it. Let's see here. Okay. We have arrived. I'm not going to lie. I thought I might see a little bit more people here, but I do know that the KS Bar vibes were high. We're still, about an hour away from tip-off. Well, actually, so now that I say that, it does feel like we actually have a pretty decent crowd piling up right now. So I'm expecting a nice 95%, I think, is what we topped out at the season opener. I would hope to see something similar again today. Jacob, do you have any really final thoughts or anything before we get out of here, unless someone dressed in face paint comes around? We'll probably wrap things up here soon. How are you? We got some people coming around.
My final thought is we're going to have a lot going on the KS board, the live thread. I know you guys, that the main site will have the live blog, but I'm a live thread guy myself, so get over on the KS board.
Pop over on the KS board. Do we have a promo going on right now still?
Yeah, it's $1 for 7 days, then 50% off for annual memberships. So
Boom.
Go take advantage of that.
Go sign up right now. I was really hoping that we would have a sprinting Jack Pilgrim show up and just grab me on the side of the shoulder. We did not get that, unfortunately.
Nope.
But we got a couple of fan picks as well. Kentucky fans expecting big things today. I really like that Brandon Garrison most valuable player pick. Did you have an MVP pick? Or is it
It's Trent Noah.
Trent Noah's just.
I'm going all in on Trent Noah today.
Sure, we'll see Trent Noah play 3 minutes at the end of the game. But if he comes in and hits 4 threes, we will come back to this rapid reaction and we will boast about how Jacob had it correct.
Hey,
Steven,
go for a bold take.
what's your prediction for this one?
I'm going to say Kentucky by 25.
25?
Yeah.
I think I went by, I forget my final score. I said it on Sources Say, but I believe I had Kentucky win by like 28 points, something like that. Maybe 25, close to that spread. My MVP, I'm going to go Jackson Robinson. He had 8 points in the last game. I think he was trying to purposely a little bit take a back. It happened. It happened. Look at this. Did you hear me say I hope Jack?
This is weird.
Did you hear me say I hope Jack Pilgrim is sprinting?
I started running.
Okay, is this the new? Did you just get this from Acro?
I just picked this up.
This is amazing. People are really talking about the yellow.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. I'm not going to lie. I like the yellow. I think it looks cool. This has to be no Wildcat. It's the old tongue. Or the new tongue.
One, yeah.
Not the good one. We'll say. Jack, you were just on the pregame show for an hour, so you've talked nonstop.
Yeah, I don't need to talk.
Give us one. give us your score prediction. Yeah, your score prediction. Your MVP. I already forgot mine from yesterday's show. Give us your score prediction, MVP, and then one Jack Pilgrim thought of the day.
Ooh, I like the Jack Pilgrim thought of the day. I'm going 91-69 was my pick.
Nice.
On the game yesterday, on the podcast yesterday. Yeah, I think Noah Williamson, if you can slow him down, I think everything else kind of falls into place around him. It's a really gritty, savvy, veteran-led team for Bucknell that they're not going to make any dumb mistakes. They're not going to self-implode, if you will. They're really well-coached team. So I think if you just play to your game, not try to get cute, not try to, outdo yourself, I think Kentucky can comfortably come away with a win. The spread scares me a little bit. It has jumped to 29. That's tough. That's a really tough. I think in my prediction, I think I hit 29. Is that? I can't do the math off the top of my head.
22, I think. Yeah, you went 69 to 91. I think mine was like 25, 26-ish range is what I was thinking.
Yeah, so 29 scares me. I think they're going to win comfortably, but maybe not in blowout fashion. I heard some of the fans say that they're 40, 32-point win, whatever. So I think it's going to be a comfortable win. We're going to learn a lot about this team. Absolutely. Hopefully make more shots with a bigger game for Brandon Garrison. I agreed with that one fan that said Brandon Garrison.
Well, that was like 7 thoughts, but I loved them all.
Yeah.
That's
what it is. I ramble.
Yeah. So MVP is your Brandon Garrison? Is that what you're
on the pregame show, I said Andrew Carr. I think he's going to be the big picture MVP, but I do think Brandon Garrison's going to have a really strong day against Noah Williamson.
It would be nice to see Andrew Carr really have kind of a come-out game, if you will. I think he's posted in double figures pretty much every game, but not really been the guy yet. So hopefully we can see that from him today. Just a well-rounded, all-around game from everyone involved. So should we go ahead and get on inside here and fire up the blogs and the threads and all the fun stuff?
Just nonstop coverage, man.
Nonstop. We're here all day long. All right. We'll catch y'all rapidly reacting later. 3.5 hours probably. Later.